Hello and welcome to the next ReeVlog. I'm wearing my first ever Kung Fu belt. And I have deciphered the Chinese on my Kung Fu shirt. It says Crane, Tiger, Dragon style. And I have just recorded a video talking about yellow belt, Kung Fu, my style. It was enjoyable. There's a lot more to do on it. It's just the first draft. I doubt I'll ever upload it, but I hope to one day upload something of the like, because I want to do one video for each of the belts. And of course, I would like a disclaimer at the start of each of them, saying that yes, they're there to learn from, if you can't learn from anywhere else, but it's always best to be taught, because it's very easy to practice things wrong, and if I get anything wrong in the videos, not saying I will, but if I do, then you're going to be learning the wrong thing constantly. For example, my instructor for my orange belt, taught me that there were there's 1, 2, 3, 4, taught me there were 5 chickens dancers in a form. Turns out there's only 4. And to this day, because I practiced so long before he realized that it was wrong, I still get that wrong sometimes, because I'm still rewiring it out of my brain. And so it's always better to practice with someone, because otherwise I would have got that forever. And yes, it's a form. It's less important in my mind than the other things we do. But if you practice the forms wrong and one day go on to be an instructor, you've changed the style, because your form is different to other people's forms. And I suppose Kung Fu is Chinese. Chinese whispers, very appropriate. But I do hope to instruct one day, and yes, I will teach the forms, obviously. And the disclaimer isn't just there so people will, rather than come to my classes, watch the video, because I'm sure people realise that going to classes would get them a much more valuable experience, and you can do sparring, and I cannot stress enough the importance of sparring. For me, it is arguably the most important part. If I can ever open a school sort of thing for martial arts, I will have a day dedicated to sparring without the constraints of the martial art, because when you're sparring in martial arts, you should only use techniques that you know of that martial art. For example, I can use crescent kicks, moon kicks, sky kicks, roundhouse kicks, thrust kicks, lightning roundhouse combination, but I can do any combination of all the kicks I know. Dragon stamps, side dragon stamps, cross dragon stamps, earth kicks, axe kicks, scything kicks, tiger tail, donkey, some elephants, bunch of hand techniques, but I can't, for example, slide tackle someone, because it's not part of the martial art, as far as I'm aware anyway. But sparring without those constraints is equally as important, because sparring with the constraints shows the techniques and teaches you to apply them under pressure, whereas you're not really under pressure when you're just doing it to call or in your own time. You have to get used to being able to do it rapidly and apply it practically, because the punches we practice against are dragon punches, where someone will punch in and stand there like this. Nobody's going to do that in real life. Someone's going to throw a jab at you, and their arm's going to be back before you can maneuver it around into a specific point in order to do something else. So even when we do practice applications, they're not the most practical of applications. There are transitional applications, because a dragon punch is still a punch. You do your applications. If you can then do that same thing in sparring, you have to do it a lot faster. And yeah, it's very difficult. But outside of that, sparring is effectively learning to fight. Someone comes at you, you can react. Sparring improves your reactions, it toughens you up, like improves your durability because you get used to being hit. You also get used to blocking, so whilst you maybe also, by improves your reactions, I mean not only can you react mentally faster to something coming at you, like if you were to like do a counting game, because there are counting games for reactions, like there were X many things, because there were boop 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 boop, count them down. But it also trains your body to react in specific ways to block things and counterattack, which is why I've been to 2 sessions of historic medieval combat training so far, and I've improved significantly. They've taught me 1 technique, and other than that, they've just said, don't use that technique, because for you and the way you've been fighting, it's less important than the other one unless you're in a duel. And then in a duel, it's important. The thing they taught me was castle/tent, which is to hold shield, sword on top of shield. But if you're in a duel, that's fine. Frame the opponent so you can see them. Wall of shield, wall of sword, arm. They're in that, because no one's coming from either side. You don't have to look there. But if you're not in a 1v1 duel, then at that point you can't see anyone from over here because there's a big shield in the way. So instead of that, shield in front. You can see over the top of the shield, you can see to your side in your peripherals. Sword back here, because you've got your sword leg forward, and you get power in quickly striking places. Not only that, is it sparring of all sorts trains the correct muscle groups for that sort of sparring and improves endurance. Especially if you start off, and by the end of your minute or so sparring, you are knackered. Well, a year later, doing sparring once a week, you'll end that first minute, you'll probably still be knackered. But you can then bump it up to 2 minutes, because yes, you'll be knackered, but it's because you've been doing more in that minute. And then you have 2 minutes, and you'll be incredibly knackered by the end of the second minute. But you will adapt and then eventually do more in those 2 minutes. You see where I'm going with this? I know there's a lot of people who don't put as much value in sparring. They see techniques need to be drilled. You need to do it repetitively. You'll get it right, you'll do it. However, whilst that's true, that's effectively what sparring is when you're doing it in the martial art rather than just fight. When you are sparring in a martial art, you're only allowed to use techniques from that martial art. Obviously there's some exception to that, like if you're going to get punched in the face and the fist's like here, and you can't do a block from your martial art, you're just gonna knock it out of the way or dodge. And in my martial art, I've not heard the word dodge. Yes, my instructor does say get out of the way of the punch, but by that they mean step, not just whoop, whoop, whoop. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to teach one day. I just hope that I'm not terrible at it, and I also hope that I can make some videos approaching good. I have to record with my webcam for editing purposes, otherwise the audio's out of sync. However, there are some parts that I couldn't record here due to the fact that it was this much of my body you can see. You couldn't see my legs, and obviously for forms and stances and kicks, legs are important. There's not a great deal of space here, but I can record the kicks and the forms and punches and everything and do voice over it. The explainy part I can do in here, and then the practical part I can do record on my phone, put on the computer, crop out the audio completely So there's just video, maybe play some music underneath, and say, this kick is this. In order to do it, you need to do these things, and cut to a different angle of recorded footage, also with audio cut out, same piece of music though, so it's not all jarring, and then maybe put in some sort of annotations, freeze frames, saying, for example, sky kick, where, oh, there's a wire behind me, you just kick straight up with your leg, straight. I'd say have me in the starting stance, and then say in it, like, this is a sky kick, and then have the video go with me, like, as a side view, so you can see the leg comes up, leg comes back down, and then say a sky kick is with front or rear leg kicking directly up, ideally in your center, and striking with the balls of the feet, toes pulled back as best as you can. For rear hand, you want to change your guard as demonstrated, and it should look something like this. Gain balance is very important, and cut to having two videos on screen, like down the middle. There's on this side, like the side-on view, so you see the leg come up and down, and then on this side there's the front-on view, so you see it go like this, so that way you get both views, and I can pause one saying, like, you're aiming to get as high up as you can, it will improve as you practice more, don't aim for that, don't be sad if you can only kick sort of just barely above your waist to start with. Eventually, like, I aim to be kicking above my head, and all that good stuff. Is a lot of effort, I'm sure, but I practice my Kung Fu a lot. Yes, recording the specific parts will be difficult. I need to find some people to practice with. I don't want to record my brother when me doing it. No. Might see if I can get my mum to do it with me, because that way I don't have to worry about my brother, because I don't intend or expect to make any money off of it, but if I do, he'll be like, I want royalties, I'm in the thing, do. I'll be like, Mum, congratulations, we made money, here's a bottle of wine, that'll do you. But yeah, that's that. I'm hoping quite dearly that if I do manage to do this, because I planned to do it last year and didn't, if I do this, then people will, like, watch and enjoy, and potentially find it useful, because I can go through all of the belts that I've done, which is currently 4, yellow, green, orange, red, yeah, currently 4, getting on for 5. I need to practice this one that I can't actually demonstrate very well at the moment, the most, but as I said, as I was recording the other thing, it's all good. It's all about practice, the foundation. The stronger your base is, the more sturdy everything built on it will be. So the more I practice the stuff from yellow belt, the easier I'll find building on it and getting the rest of it to go. So yellow belt, green belt, orange belt, red belt, I need to get all of that better constantly. There's specific things as well that I know I'm bad at. Roundhouse kicks, side dragon stamps and turning side dragon stamps, cross dragon stamps to anything other than the knee, then breathing. There are ways to work on that in my Kung Fu forms. There's fist form, which you can do under tension. I do need to question something about this, because my instructor does say that, but I feel like that's better because you're not likely to damage your thumb in doing it. But, you know, just like, there are a couple things that I will probably change when I am an instructor from what they are now, because my instructor told me when stepping in a bear stance, you must look over the shoulder the way you're turning. Turning from a bear stance almost always, and it's been always in all of the cases that I've known so far, is your right leg behind or in front, but it's your right leg that moves. He wants you to look over your left shoulder, which means if your right leg goes behind, you look over your left shoulder, you can see behind you, and then the whole time that you're turning, you can't until you get here, and then you can see in your peripheral over there. And if you're still looking over that shoulder for now, it's not until you get here that you can then see in the peripheral. But I would say look over this shoulder and then step, because that way you're twisting and you can still see that way still. Whatever, I've been talking for a quarter of an hour, so I'm gonna go, but yeah, I'm hoping it'll all work out. I've been listening to Teching 101's Techade stream and his other things for his 10-year anniversary on YouTube thing, and it made me think. I planned on doing Kung Fu stuff on the channel last year, and I never got round to it. Not sure why, probably Dungeons and Dragons, but I have told myself I need to do at least an hour of Kung Fu every day. I need to do skipping every day, maybe apart from Wednesdays. I need to do 100 roundhouse kicks most days. It was every day, it's not anymore due to the fact that when I'm wounded, I won't do it. Even the hour of Kung Fu a day, hour to 2, I won't do it if I'm injured, obviously. But, you know, without injuries, the roundhouse kicks, I will be bringing them back every day. I'm not sure in what capacity, whether I will do them against the bag. I think I will. I've raised the bag higher, so I'll be hitting the harder part of the bag rather than the softer part, which, 1, is body conditioning, and 2, means I have to kick higher, otherwise I miss. Stretching, every day, still do it. Weights and body weights, doesn't say every day on my thing over here. This is me, by the way. One day I will look somewhat like that. Yeah, strength training, doing floor press because I don't have a bench, and dumbbells, and this thing, whatever this is, and this one, and squats, and just wearing my weights, and cycling. I do a lot of cycling at the moment. Not on Wednesdays, but in general, I do a lot of cycling. I'll probably be going for about 2 hours of cycling most days. Like tomorrow, I'm biking to D&D. I do have a D&D session tomorrow. Might be the last one of the year. Academic year. And, well, I've got a bike there, and it's a long way, and D&D books are heavy, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I could walk, I could probably get a lift really easily on my bike. And then I'm going to bike back again, which I think that's going to be about 3 hours round cycling. And it's not like my bike's great, which makes the cycling harder. Yeah, it hurts my knees, but that's okay. I have knee compressy things like I usually wear on my elbow. So I'll be alright. Oh god, that was terribly Norfolk. But yes, as I said, I said 3 minutes ago, I'm going to go. So I will catch you cats on the flip-flop. And I'm not sure whether if I do end up uploading Kung Fu things to YouTube, whether it will be on this channel or a different channel. Because this channel has over 1,000 videos on it. And they're going to drag me down in the algorithm quite a lot because they average 1 view. That's probably more than that. Okay, they probably average like 3 views per video total. Just doing some quick maths. As you know, that's still not wrong. Total, it's got to be way more than that, but that's just because it depends on what sort of average you're doing. If you're doing the mean average, the median average, the modal average, etc. But yeah, on average, my videos don't get many views, and that's going to drag me down in the YouTube algorithm. So if I want people to see my martial arts videos, I should probably do it on a different channel and start off with high quality content that's regular. So I may make all of them, edit all of them, make thumbnails, find the music and the arts and stuff like that, and then potentially at some point I will upload them all and schedule them out across weeks, months, whatever, however many videos I have, because rather than doing one video that in-depth covers all of Yellow Belt, the plan would be have one video that quickly goes through everything in Yellow Belt, covers what's on the syllabus, reads it out, says this is this and this and this and this, demonstrates the entirety of Yellow Belt to a degree, and then have like cards at different points throughout the video. They'll all be in the top right hand corner of the screen, which is over here as this is recording, but is over here in my mind because this is my right hand. Hello. So yeah, but say when I'm saying, and this is the kick section. We have the sky kick and the moon kick and the crescent kick. There'll be a card in the corner that's like in-depth kicks, and you can click on it and then it'll take you to the video where it's like, okay, we're doing Yellow Belt kicks today. We have sky kick, moon kick, crescent kick. This is how you do a sky kick. Whoop. And then there'll be the breakdown of the sky kick, and then at the bottom there'll probably be a bunch of timestamps along the video saying skip to this point for moon kick, skip to this point for crescent kick. So that way, if someone's like, oh, they're practicing their things, like, oh no, I don't remember crescent kick, how does one? They can click on the video and then they'll be like, oh man, I don't want to have to go through sky kick and moon kick first, and then just all the way along the bottom of the video, maybe scrolling, maybe static, don't know, it'll just say 5 minutes 6 seconds crescent kick, and then they can go along the scroll bar, 5 minutes 6 seconds, and it'll be like crescent kick. You go outside, inside to out, and yeah, be good. And then do the same thing for the forms, do the same things for the hand strikes, and so on. And then eventually it'll be good. And I'll have a collection that I can refer to myself if I forget things, because I know that my instructor goes back to his black belt grading video to remind him of the things that he needs to know to teach me. Anyway, I'm off, so I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop. Goodbye.